Hi, in this video we are going to see how to install and run Dataweave Playground in our machine. So if you look at this one, Dataweave Playground, which is available in internet, which is dwlang.fun. So if you open this one in your browser, it's an external URL, and if you wanted to play around with any of your Datawave, so you can write your Datawave coding here and you can see the expected output here. So if you want to run the similar playground in your machine so that you can access the Datawave Playground by running from browser with localhost and specific port, how it will be. So that is what you are going to see today. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'll just go and see these are the steps we are going to execute it. So first we have to download the Docker for desktop. So I'll do that first. So in order to do that, you'll just search internet, download Docker for desktop, and I'll just click this Docker website link, and I have Windows, so I'll just click download for Windows, and it will download the exe file. If you look at this one, it's 511 MB, so it will take approximately few seconds to download the particular file. Once the file is downloaded, we are going to click and we are going to run that, and we are going to install the Docker for desktop in our machine. So now what we are doing is this first step. So we are downloading it, and after that we will install it. So download is going to almost complete. So currently this step is in progress. And similarly, right, and once step 1 is complete, we are going to proceed with step 2. So 9 seconds left. So once that is done, I'll just open and I'll install it. It's almost done now. Yeah, it's downloaded. So I'll open that file. By default, it will get downloaded to your downloads folder. I'll just click yes. So it's installing the Docker desktop. So you'll be able to see it's downloading the packages, and it will unpack that all the softwares. If you see here, there is a checkbox which you have to select it. The one is to install the required Windows component for WSL2, and then there is a desktop shortcut, and you just check that checkbox and give OK. Now it will unpack everything and it will install. So this one will take a few minutes. So once that is done, we are going to try the step 2. If you look at this now, the installation is succeeded. I'll just close this window, and then as installation is complete, I'll just change this to completed. And anyway, we know we have installed, and we have also created the shortcut. We have given that checkbox, right? So I'll just double click and open this Docker desktop. And also when you click here, and you will be able to see this Docker image in your taskbar as well. See it, and it's asking to accept the terms, and I'll just accept it. I have selected the checkbox and accepted it. And sometime, right, and you will be getting this error which says WSL2 installation is incomplete. Okay, so it's a error which we need to fix it. So when the Docker is not started, you will be able to see this fail to start with the red color image. So now we are going to fix the WSL2 error. So in order to do that, if you have any error, then you have to run this command. You have to run this command in the Windows PowerShell. And I will open the Windows PowerShell now. Windows PowerShell. So when you open this app, you just right click and run as an administrator. And you give yes. And once you selected yes, and you just copy this command and you paste it here. Copy this command and I'll paste it here. And I'm just going to click enter, and it will show this running command. Okay, so it's running the command now, and the result came now. So now that is done. Next, what we need to do is we need to install this Windows Subsystem for Linux update. I'll install that now. Again, I'll go back to internet and I'll just search it. Install Windows Subsystem for Linux. Kernel update for Windows 10. Yeah, so this is the link. So that is available in your Microsoft.com website, and there is a step number 4 which will tell download the Linux kernel update package. So I'll just copy this link and I'll put it here. And we are going to run this step 4. We are going to download this latest package of WSL2, and it's getting downloaded now. So once that downloaded, I'll install that. So it's going to install that. I'll just click next. I'll click yes and finish. So now what we have done so far is step 2, running this command. We have done it from the PowerShell, and third one also we have just completed. Okay. So now what we have to do, so we have to restart the system. Now we have restarted the system. So now as we have restarted the system and already we have installed the Docker, right? And it's starting up the Docker instance now. So if it's not starting, what you can do is you can go to your desktop and you can right click and open it. It will open. And if you see here, it will show the green mark one. So for example, if I wanted to close this one and if I wanted to open again, right, you'll be able to see the Docker has started and it's showing the running. Earlier it was showing red because it was showing some WSL2 error. But after that, we have done this step 2, where from the PowerShell we have executed this command, and also we have installed some Windows-Subsystem-Linux update from this particular page. And after that we have restarted the system. Now it's showing green, so that's completed. So now what we are going to do is we need the Docker image for the Dataweave Playground. So normally if you want any Docker image, it will get stored in DockerHub. So we are going to download that particular image from the DockerHub. So I'll just copy this URL and I'll open it from the browser. I'll just open the browser. So I have opened the Chrome browser and I'll just open that page which has the Dataweave Playground image, or which is available in this DockerHub. So if you have any kind of image in Docker, it will be available in the DockerHub only. So here whatever the Dataweave Playground we have, it is also available in the DockerHub. So I'll just copy this one. On the right side you are able to see some command docker pull some path, right? I'll just copy that, and that command I'll just paste it in this notepad. Okay, so when I paste it here, right, so the exact command is this one only. Okay, so now this command we are going to run it. So in order to run this command, right, so what we need to do, so we need to form it like this. So you have to form it and then you have to give your Docker image, which is this one. So basically whatever you copied, you just delete the first part, and whatever you have it here, that one you have to place it here in the command. So now you have to copy this one and you have to run it. So in order to do that, you open your command prompt and run that command. And when you run it, you will be able to see the difference here, and you'll be able to see that container and apps images. So the command is getting executed, so that's why it's not coming there. See here, it's unable to find the image and then it's downloading it. So it's downloading it and basically it's pulling it from this particular path from the DockerHub. So basically this is the place it's trying to pull it now, because the copy of this snapshot is available in the DockerHub, and from there it's trying to download it to our local. Because what we are doing is we are taking this Docker image and we are trying to run it in our local environment. See here, whatever the command we have executed it downloaded the file, and you are able to see downloaded newer image, and it's downloaded the image which we gave into your local. So I'll just go to my Docker page. See here, under the container apps, you are able to see this, whatever we have downloaded, that is running. And this DW2, it's a Datawave 2. This name, how it is coming is, in the command we gave a name like DW2. So if you wanted to give Datawave Playground or Datawave, any name you can give it. And then there is a port which is 9999, and that's a port your application will run. Okay, so now it started. So how to, if you mouse over it, you will be able to see the list of options. For example, you wanted to stop this particular one which is running, you can stop it. Even you don't want it, finally you wanted to delete it from your system, you can click delete button also. But as it is running, and I'll just show how to, you can open it from the browser from here as well. You just click open in browser, it will open in the browser. See here, localhost double line and it's viewing the playground. See here, it's opened it. So earlier, whatever we opened earlier, it's from the dwlang.fun website, right? So now this particular Datawave Playground, it's running in your own machine itself. So for example, I'll just, that's why now you are able to open it from the localhost double nine. Because this port we gave, what port we wanted to start, that double nine port we gave it here. And so just to check it is working or not, you can change any incoming payload, right? So I'll just say test from local Datawave Playground, and you are able to see the payload.message which we are printing, that is coming here. Similarly, if you want to show entire payload, then it will come, or if you want to have only one field, then that field value will get printed here. So now what we have completed, so we pulled it from the Docker. Basically we copied the pull command and then we run it from our command terminal, right? The command prompt we ran. After we are running, so we are able to see that is running in our Docker image. Under the Docker for desktop, in the application, we are able to see that that particular Datawave Playground is running. And after running, we are able to execute that from our browser. So you can come and open localhost double nine, then it will open, and there you can do any kind of coding. So if you have this playground, then you don't need to depend on any other external playground. Everything is there in your machine which you can execute it. So instead of changing anything in your Anypoint Studio for any kind of POC or any kind of trial or any kind of thing immediately you wanted to try, instead of doing it in your Anypoint Studio, you can play around here, and once the code is finalized, then you can copy that and you can put it in your Anypoint Studio transfer message code. Hi, thank you for watching this video so far. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and also subscribe to this Tech Lightning channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.